Okay, we're going to take some notes on long division. So please take out your focus notes and follow along and make sure you fill in all the blanks as we go. Unit 2 is about fractions, decimals, and rational numbers. So what we have to do in this part for level 2 is that we need to convert fractions to decimal. In order to do that, we need to use long division. Now you've seen long division before, so this is a quick review. First, let's go over some of the vocabulary words for long division. The first word we're going to define is quotient. Quotient is the answer after you divide one number by another. The second word we're going to define is dividend. Dividend is the number that is to be divided. The third word we're going to define is divisor. Divisor is the number dividing into the dividend. And the last word we're going to define is remainder. Remainder is the amount left over after you divide one number by another. So let's take a look at some examples where we can use these vocabulary words. Example number 1, 8 divided by 2. The dividend is the number that is to be divided. So the dividend in this case is 8. The divisor is the number dividing into the dividend. 8 divided by 2. 2 is being divided into 8. And lastly, the quotient is the answer. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Example number 2. It is 54 divided by 3. The dividend is the number that is being divided. It's the one that's on the inside of our division box. In this case, the dividend is 54. The divisor is the number dividing into the dividend. 54 divided by 3. It's getting divided into 54. I'm sorry. The divisor is 3. And lastly, the quotient is 18. After we've done the long division, which we'll go through in the next example, our answer or our quotient is 18. And you can see the example of long division. Let's move on to the second one. So, let me clear this so you can follow along. So, these are the steps we're going to take when we do a long division problem. How do we divide using long division? Our first example is 48 divided by 4. The dividend, and please fill this in, the dividend is 48, and the divisor is 4. So the dividend is the number on the inside, the divisor is a number on the outside. First thing we do is first divide the divisor into the 4 in the dividend. So let's do that. The divisor into the 4 of the dividend. 4 divided by 4 goes in there one time. So 4 divides into 4 one time. You do the multiplication. 1 times 4 is 4. You do the subtraction, and you bring down the 8. Next, we divide the divisor again into the 8, or the second number, of the dividend. Four divides into 8 exactly 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. There is no remainder. And finally, our answer, or our quotient, is 12. Please take the time to make sure you filled in all of these. Next example. Three divided by 8. First of all, our step, the dividend, and you're going to complete these steps. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. The dividend is 3, and the divisor is 8. So let's set this up. 3 divided by 8. 3 is the dividend, 8 is the divisor. First we divide the divisor, which is 8, into the 3 in the dividend. Well, 8 cannot go into 3, it can go into there 0 times, and we bring down the 0. But also what you have to do is you have to put a decimal point, and you put a 0, because 3.0 is the same as 3. We do our subtraction, and we bring down that 0. Next, we take the divisor and divide it into the other part of the dividend, which is 0. But now we're looking at 30 because we've brought down everything. So 8 goes into 30 4 times. I'm sorry, 3 times. Let me erase this a little bit so you guys are clear. Goes into there 3 times. If you have a decimal point here, make sure you put your decimal point there. Do your multiplication. 8 times 3 is 24. You have to do some regrouping. 10 minus 4 is 6. And then you have to have another 0. It's still the same number, 3. 3.000 is the same as 3. And we bring down the 0. Next, we take that divisor, and we have to divide it into the 60, which is also part of the dividend now. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 8 times 7 is 56. You must do some regrouping again. 10 minus 6 is 4. And we still don't want a remainder, so we've got to bring down the 0. We keep bringing down zeros until, hopefully, we don't get any repeating or an answer. We bring down the 0. Now we go in the divisor into this part of the dividend. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Oops. And no remainder. So, all these answers, the quotient, all these steps, the quotient comes out to be 0.375. Our final example is 8 divided by 5. The dividend is 8. The divisor is 5. Let's put 8 on the inside, 5 on the outside. This is the dividend, this is the divisor. Now we take the divisor into the first number in the dividend, which is 8. 5 can go into 8 1 time. 1 times 5 is 5. We'll put the 8.0. Put the point there because 8.0 is the same as 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. We bring down the 0. Now we must take that divisor and divide it into that second number, which in this case is now 30 of our dividend. It's the 0. 5 can go into 30 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30 with no remainder. So our quotient is 1.6. So make sure you use your example to fill in the dividend and the divisor. Make sure you show your steps on your long division because you're going to do a worksheet that's going to require you to write out these steps on your own. So I know I haven't written them all down like the first one, but you can use these steps to fill it in for the second example and the third example.